We're now ready to look at supply shocks. And supply shocks are external events that shift the aggregate supply curve. So let's do an example. Let's look back at history in the 1970s. Oil prices shifted up dramatically. Oil prices surged around 1973. And what happened, what that does in the model is that causes the cost of production to increase dramatically, especially when production uses lots of fossil fuels, such as in the 70s. We use less now. So anyway, in the 1970s, the aggregate supply curve shifted up vertically because of the oil shocks. Okay, so this is an example of why the aggregate supply curve might shift up. And what happened was, if you look at the equilibrium, we had a reduction in output, which is a recession, if it occurs over 6 months. And also notice something else is very interesting. We had a price increase from, let's say, we'll call it P0 to P1. Okay? So we had a quantity decrease. That means output decrease in the economy and a price increase. And what that's called in economics is, we have a special name for it, and it's called stagflation. It's a decrease in the real output with increasing prices. So people were essentially being laid off, or were working less hours, and at the same time there was price increases. That's called stagflation. Now I'm going to show you a graph again just to remind you. We've already looked at this before. This is a demand shock, or this is an increase in demand. And notice that when you have a demand shift, you also get, in the short run, price increases, but you also have output increases. So there's a difference between a demand shift and a supply shift. When you have a demand shift, you have increased, and when you have an increase in demand, you have increased output followed by increase in prices. But then when you have a supply shock, which is different, if you go to the previous slide, you have, if you have an increase, a decrease in aggregate supply, or a shift up aggregate supply, what that's going to cause is a price increase and an output decrease. So two different effects.